Okay, it says you are live. So, welcome to Power Hour, everybody. And let me see what I got going on here. And so, as we can see here, the 60 to 20 was the major inflection point, or is a major inflection point now, and we're below it. So, so the if then is if over or if under 6220. And let's take a closer look here at charm since we're playing pinball. And the immortal words of Led Zeppelin, there's two paths we can go by. One is get pinned somewhere right below the 6220 in this zone. So let's just call it 17 and a half for government work. Or get slammed back down below 10, OMG. Or you see how we almost popped above the 25? If we could somehow get over 20 and pop up into the clear, we have a shot at this 25. We have a shot at a kind of crazy move as this charms up to a +1 delta right around here, stall at 27 and a half. Not looking likely right this minute, but a lot can change in a short period of time here. Now, I guess I want to look at something else for myself, and I'll show it to everybody else as well. Present screen share. Entire screen, click. I just wanted to look at what's going on in this world. Okay, so yeah, so you see what's going on here with VIX. Ticks are in the toilet. We're about to have a tick extreme. And where's SPX 17? So I was just looking at this screen here. Oh, here, where were we? Over here, the tick extreme over here. On the tick extreme over here, and look, the AD, the advanced decline on the S&P is 380 decliners. Now it's 358. So that's what's going on there. So do we have any pinball players? Anybody want to hazard a wager here?
You're speaking my language.
I don't see anybody stepping up with a number yet. All right, let's see. So
I'm
the
going to say something crazy here, and I'm going to say 6,200 for me is what I'll
wow, we have a 6,200. We got Yogi the Bear in the house.
I'll actually say below 6,200.
Below 6,200.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a low probability lotto trade, but you never know because if, that's just if then it, I kind of doubt it, but that would mean we'd have to get trapped under here all the way down to 61.90. I'll sell you those puts. I'll sell you those 61.90 puts. 62.35. Okay, so we have 62.10, which puts, okay, so we're looking right in this area, and this is, trap below 20 and above 15 kind of might make some sense. Above here is looking unlikely, but if these deltas are either going to decay to a -1 delta, in which case we get slammed down, or if we get over this, then these deltas can start going positive, and then we got a potential chase going on. Okay, so we got 62.10, 62.35. So we're going all the way back up. We're going to pop back in because people who are long the 6,200 puts or whatever it is, they've been buying them all day and they're profitable. They're going to close that crap out and give the market makers enough stuff to buy back. And 62.15, which kind of, if we stay below here, these deltas decay and we come down here. So we got the below 62.20 or the above 25. Unlikely we close in that zone in between them. I mean, it can happen in theory, but probably unlikely. Let me look at another chart for a minute. Share screen. Click entire screen. My mouse is sticking.
Can I add my shorts here? Sorry, I mean, kind of
That's all right. No, that's quite all right. Where's that screen? What screen number is that? Screen 4, screen 3, what's screen 5? What's screen 6? I can't find the screen I'm looking for, folks. Not screen 1. Okay, I can't find the screen I'm looking for. I'm not that nimble here with this. What do I got here? All right, well, let's look at that for a second. Good enough. So here's E-mini for all you futures people. Now, who was saying something about over 62.60? I know someone was talking about that number. So right now, I mean, it's looking like the highest probability is right in here. Oops, you can't.
Is that saying 15, 17 area?
Yeah, let me change screens. Oh, I see why I couldn't see it because I had it in the highest probability is right in there. But we still, we're getting a narrow band that's as we're coming in here, we've got basically a 20 to, we got a 7 point band, 5 to 7 point band. That's going to kind of decide the day where we are here. I know how to do what I wanted to see. Okay, now you should be seeing my VIX chart, my kind of dashboard with VIX and SPX and all that. I guess wanted to see what VIX was doing. Under 18 is good. And we'll talk about why it's good in a second. What's IWM doing? Nice pullback if you missed the last train and looking to get aboard the next one, you got it right here. 0.96, 0.99, 0.98, and IWM outperforming to the downside, a dubious distinction.
And the train you're talking about, you're saying downtown or uptown?
Well, the train I was talking about just then was if people missed the train on IWM, IWM had a nice move and now pulled
I
back a
see.
buck and a half, and so that was the train I was talking about. Well, look at this. These puts are now the 95s. All right, 15 cents to close them. All right, they're supposed to close. I'm at I'm at the mid here. And so let me just switch screens again. I can figure out how to do this. Thank you, folks, for your patience with my poor production values. Okay, so again, full disclosure here. We got these put credit spreads here at 62.10. These are profitable, the short ones, but the long ones are down more than the short ones are profitable. So you kind of got to sit through it or take a tiny loss or a tiny gain. Already realized about $500 gain messing around with this. Not a great day, but better than a kick in the teeth. And these should be closing 15 cents, 20 cents. I'm just going to hang on to it for my 15 cents. And so, obviously, for those of you that may or may not know, let me just get this blocker out of the way so it doesn't muddy the water. Move to group. Okay, I'm going to move that shit out of the way. There we go. Okay, so that's what these are doing. All right. I just wanted to peek and see what was going on with my trades, and you guys got a ringside seat. And you see here's the perils up 230, up 300 bucks on the short ones, but down 400 or 500 on the long ones. So you just gotta sit through it. You just gotta sit through it. Or you could do the math and sell this and buy this back at a profit and sell something a little lower and still come out with a profit. But that's just too much work for me. That's too much work for me. Right, let's go back to here, entire screen. So now let's see what's going on over here. And nothing much different than we had seen before, right? If below 62.20, then Charm Decay. Oh, there you go. They close those for 15 cents. About time. Cheap bastards. Then below here, or if above 22 and a half, 25 up here. In theory, we're not supposed to close here, but that's in theory. In practice, we could. But all else fails, I'm going to go with the if theory being right. So either right below 20, 17.5, or right above 25. Those are the two most likely setups here. Well, let's take a quick peek what's going on here. So as of now, the expected move is 12. With SPX at 62.20, so that's 08-ish on the bottom, expected move. Well, I mean, that's the options prices. That's the total of the out of the money options. So two standard deviations down is 62.04. One standard deviation down is 62.12. And of course, the up standard deviations, there's that 27 number again. So do I have any other pinball players? Come on, man. Whoops, I'm not supposed to do that, right? That's very unprofessional. Oh yeah, VIX. I want you to look at VIX. Just want to show everybody something. Forget Tesla. That's a whole other story. The richest man in the world taking on the most powerful man in the world. Or
Do
is
you have a
it?
take on it?
Or is it interesting pissing match, huh?
Do you have a take on that? Or sitting on the sideline?
It's a hard one to have a take on. It's a hard one for me to have a take on. I'm going to sit that one out.
I'll tell you my take when it's done.
Yeah, right when it's done, Russ. I knew it all along. Okay, so if we look at this, I don't know if you guys can see the numbers. If I knew how to, wait, let me blow this up. Up, I'm blowing it down.
I think you're only showing the ODT
I should
on the
be
screen.
showing. Oh,
I'm on Discord. I'm
right, okay, so you're seeing something different, right? On on Twitter and YouTube, I'm showing Gamma Edge the VIX, and so what I'm showing here is 3,000 351,000 contracts for July at 17 on the put side. So when we're under there, VIX gets slammed down. So think of 17 as your inflection point down below. As we go down, it kind of becomes a magnet. But then on the other side, we have 145 contracts at what is this? 20, that's a little too far away. Then we have these 18,000 here at at 18s rather at 127. So there's why the VIX is acting the way it is, and why when we get over 18, then market makers will have to be short VIX futures to hedge this the 18 out, forget the 17. Now they have to start buying, and then as we head up to 19, it creates that kind of chase reflexive hedging over here. So once you get over this, they start buying. It stalls out here and here. These are long puts. I'm assuming these are long puts. Let's see what mental Q stuff has for VIX. This is the wrong date today. Okay. Hmm. Not sure why data is not available. Well, I'm doing something wrong here. Wait, no, something's not available. Hang tight. Market data isn't ready yet. Oh, there we go. I've got something here. Well, that's SPX. All right, I'm going to.
Doc, if we hit 212, I'm gonna be rich.
Okay. I hope you get rich. Let me see what's going on with my position here. All right, so that stuff closed. Where is SPX 17? Let me get a screen share here. For those of you watching on Twitter and YouTube, this is a very unpolished presentation. You get Doc Raw, unfiltered, unplugged. It's pretty clear what's going on here. Below 20, now we got 15. Someone had 15, right? Kurt Jones. Do I have any other pins? See, but we have all
You got
this,
Tim there.
huh?
220, 221.5. He called it to the decimal.
Only one decimal.
Yeah, 221.5.
So then some kind of fly, and Brad did a fly. I wonder what his fly is looking like. It's probably looking pretty good right now. We did it on the when we were looking at Charm before. He cooked it up, not me. I'm not gonna take credit for his fly. But I think us talking through this. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, screen sharing and talking it through helps me, helps the subscribers, helps everybody, keeps you sharp. So I know when I talk it through in my own head, it sounds different than when I talk it through out loud. Anybody ever notice that? Not inside my head. You don't know what's inside my head. When you talk it through inside your head, you find it sounds different than when you talk it through out loud. Let me see a comment from YouTube or Twitter. Let me know that you're alive. Meanwhile, my brother's scalping over here. Pincus is doing his scalping thing in the meantime.
Still got 30 minutes left.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now it's the real power hour. Now it's power half hour. But it's kind of respecting this channel that I don't know. I gave a couple of updates. Last one at around 3 o'clock power hour. One before that was 2:40, and not a lot has changed, which we would expect. But we do get stronger and stronger. 200 contracts to buy, or 400 because it's E-mini. Looks like it wants higher. Now, if we get out of this charm thing and look at something that is more just easier to see what's going on. Market maker long. We're on the market maker long strike. So they say that we don't close on a market maker long, whoever they are. And so here we got this fly 20, 25, 35, or 20, 30, 40, or if you want to run a little tighter, 25. But it's probably going to be harder to get to that. It's probably better to have your tent in here or your tent in here if you can even get that. 19. We're just kind of hovering. Oh, nice. So hold on. Shameless plug for my brother. Hold on. Shameless brother plug. I can find it. Where is it? I don't know if he knows I'm doing it. There's my brother's chat. I don't know if you guys can see that. One of the subscribers in his room, $3,295 profit scalping. And they're still scalping away there. Just FYI. Okay, I got somebody else here that's kind of in trouble, so I'm gonna stop screen share for a minute and see what's going on with him.
Right now, 620 looks like a good pin.
Okay. Oh, look at that. See? Wait, I gotta change this. Do that. That's how I do it, so that the whole world doesn't see my account number. 1 second. So here's this 6210. It was up 150 bucks a second ago. So I can just close it out now and take $100 and walk away. Where are we? 19. So I'm going to put this in, at least three of them, at 55 cents. Just kind of get a little profit out of that. Discretion is a better part of valor. A little too close for comfort. Don't want to get greedy, right? Isn't that what they say? Don't get greedy. Oh, but it looks like we have a little help over here. That's right on 10. So there's that 15 pin. We had a 15 pin right here. Oh,
There's the trim for me.
anyone there on YouTube or on Twitter playing pinball? You see that right there. 217.5. 20 minutes. Looks like it wants to slide into this, but won't take much to pop it over this, especially later in the day at the very close, just so you see where the numbers are. 220 if below, but then right over here, 22 and a half, 23 is going. That's what the colors would flip. Okay, see that? Those were the puts that at one point were down thousands. It just closed at hundreds profit, but you get that asymmetrical risk reward, fake pain, and that's why I love this because it gives me a clear picture. Now let me. Other thing I like to do. Let's see what tomorrow looks like.
There's another trap for me.
Yeah, this 25 area. Let me just get a different screen ready. And I'm expecting the icy whale to be back tomorrow. And so, because of that, I'll be putting on an icy whale clone trade. So far, Rainy Days and Kurt Jones are in the running. So let's take a look at something. I'm going to pull up a screen here. We're going to go entire screen. Okay. So I'm predicting that the icy whale comes in. And here I was kind of front running him a little bit. And the icy whale is going to sell something like this, probably a drop lower, I'm going to guess. I can't sell it technically because I already got that short. But something like that on the bottom, or maybe even this. Maybe even this 70 on the bottom, that on the bottom. And where would the top be? Whoops, I did that wrong. So if we want to play the icy whale game, one third the width of the spread, that looks good to me. And let's look at these numbers again, 75 and 55. Now let's look at the gamma setup for tomorrow. What happened to my price chart? Look at that. Look at that. Right here. And we tend to get sucked up to these levels.
I'm looking to switch long on my running position on short.
You momentum traders, You like to buy as we're moving up rather than as we're moving down to and get the turn. That's what they call me McGrew. I was always front running the price action traders. You guys will hear the story on MT Live Wednesday at noon. 6220 could still hit, but I'm going to say that's pretty unlikely here. Just given the context, given the fact that VIX, so why do I say unlikely? Now, from the Trump chart alone, it's not necessarily unlikely, but with the context of VIX having spiked all the way up to 1850 and coming down, with the context of, let's look at something else. The context of these people who bought puts down here are going to be closing them. You see, there's a lot of trading action right here, right around this 15 level. We're not the only ones that see it. In fact, we're trying to slip right in here. All right, but see, you guys, just let me just let's go position number, specific date, and let's look what we got for tomorrow. Come on, let's try and update. There we go. So for tomorrow, we got some supportive stuff right down here at 80. We got twin magnets at 10 and 80. 10, where is that? Yeah, 62.10 and 60 and 61.80. This is an inflection point for tomorrow. How much lower do we want to look? Let's see. Let's say we go 61.40, and we clearly don't need 63.55. I'm gonna go ahead on a limb and say that. So this is what tomorrow looks like. Magnet 62.10, magnet 62.65.
That could be fun. Bang. Whoa. Whatever that was. Diago.
There you go, 22 over.
Good longs on Future.
Well, not much to say. We're stuck in this thing here. now, and tomorrow looks very similar if I got the right date on. Specific. Yeah, looks like I do. Position number right here. And so tomorrow looks like stall at 65 on top. If I'm selling calls, I want to sell them up above that, but that's not what the whale does. The whale is mechanical. I would use what we call seichel. And I'm going to look at putting something like this in. I'll do one as a starter now. I'm expecting the IC whale to show up here. I do it different than him. I'm going to close that at put in for now. Close it at 65 cents. Good till cancel. And here you see some puts at 25 cents was filled. Sold them for 65, closing them for 25.
All right, Doc. This is fun. Let's do it again tomorrow.
All right, see you, man. Thanks for your help with the admin stuff.
Absolutely. Just ping me if anything else comes up. Good luck, guys. See you tomorrow.
You got it. Right now, you have to see 200 puts are closing, which kind of common sense would tell us, or quantuition would tell us. Just let's look at it in a different light. Let's think about this for a second. Here's a 6,200 puts, right? Here's a chart. Let's look at it this way. 1 minute chart intraday. So you're going along minding your own business, and these puts, do I have the right puts here? Could it be? Oh, here we go. You're going along minding your own business with these puts, I don't know why. Let me make it a bigger time frame. I mean, just bigger bars. So these puts earlier in the day were 25 cents, 30 cents. Volume started coming in at 12 o'clock, and suddenly they went from 50 cents all the way up to $15 to $21. So if you were late to the party getting in over here at $4 or $5, at this point they're puking, and so you're closing them. You're selling these. That's all there is to it. The buyers who got in here at 12:30 in the $1, $2, $3 range, if they didn't get out over here, now they're losing and they got to run. This is VWAP. This is VWAP. The volume average weighted price for the day was 470. Oh, remember we talked about 27.5 and it sounded crazy before? I don't remember if it was in the room or on YouTube. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Magnet 30. Now this thing starts to open up. These these charm to a 1 delta. At this point, you can't really look at the chart. I mean, you can. I would much rather just look at this, which shows me where we're going. Or look at this. Let's get back to the 0 DTE. It shows us this fly looking structure. We should close inside this fly. I hope the people that were short the 6205, 10, even 15 puts didn't get shaken out. And that's it. And then we're going to look to do the IC whale trade because he's coming. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. I mean, yeah, there's a chance he doesn't, but what deltas are you usually using for your condors? So when I'm doing this kind of trade, when we exceed the expected move and we're going in for a 1 DTE, the theory says the 20 deltas. I'm not crazy about the 20 deltas. I'd rather just be a little further away with a 16 delta, or like, well, these were 16 delta before, now they're 13 delta. The whale, if he's going to be aggressive, would come in here and would come in here. So that would be a whale trade. I would do maybe a 16 delta over here or something like that over there. But that's when I would look at gamma, not just delta, and be somewhere in this area. All right, pencils down. 29.97, 98 pennies below. Again, you can't make this up. What am I talking about? You can't make this up? Come on. Let me show you. Right above this. not closing on that. Not closing on that short, closing on the dealer long. The dealer short, not closing on the long, closing right in the middle of this fly. All right, now let's see if we can find the whale. I mean, I know he's coming. You all know he's coming. Well, let's see if we can actually see his volume coming in. So we're going to change this from open interest to volume. Now it's going to show up late. Volume. This looks like it might be him. Now they some people do the 10 wides or 5 wides there. So you have 10,000 here and 10,000 between these two. So I'm going to say that that's the whale short strike is 52.60, and his looks like his put strike might be all the way down here at 61.90. So the whale is probably over here and over here. That's probably where the whale is. So that would be a trade that's sort of a tad less cowboyish. Now, I already sold these, so I'm fine with that. Again, these are for science. This isn't serious business. You could add that, or you could do a 65 if you're not in one yet. See, 15,000. Wow, the whale's coming in kind of big. Kind of big. That's probably other people other than the whale. And here he is at 61.90. I'll do one of these.
That we can see the screen when you put in orders.
Oh, you can't? Okay, hold on. Let me switch here. I'm sorry, yeah, because I got
No problem.
no, 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 no. Might as well be on same thing in both.
Right.
Okay. So I'm trying to get recharge headset. They're saying, oh crap. Trying to get this thing filled over here, 85. I think this is the whale right here at 90, but I'm not going there. And I'm trying to get this filled, another one filled here on top. So let's just go like this, 85, something like that. Similar order, just to make sure I get it filled, and I'll let the other ones kind of work and see how they come. See, like I had this one put that's trying to fill here at 85. I got the stuff I sold down here, anticipating his trade. That if I wanted to, I could close, and maybe I will. So where are those? July 8th, opposite. 65, and that's 45. Let's get a little greedy. And this is live on YouTube for the whole world to see. I don't care. And if you're interested in these kind of trades, and these won't be being broadcast live forever for everybody, and I will be explaining these trades